Dear sisters, I love this show very much, and I want to say kudos for all the help you are giving people. Sisters, my friend needs help. I don't particularly have a problem, but a female friend of mine is in a very critical situation, and I think she needs help. Sisters, here goes my friend's story. She was molested as a child, and she's kept it to herself, which I must say is affecting her and any relationship she gets into. She can be with the best guy, but once he tries to be intimate with her, she gets violent towards him. This has cost her a lot of very good men in her love life. She's a lovable person. Trust me, very hardworking, beautiful, courteous, and an absolute lady. My problem now is she has met this very wealthy gentleman who loves her to bits, but my friend is scared to be intimate with him because anytime she tries intimacy, the violence and anger begins to show. Sisters, she confided in me because she is madly in love with this guy and doesn't want to lose him. And she also doesn't know how to explain what might happen to this guy. Sisters, she wants me to help her by giving her some counsel. I'm confused. What should I tell my friend? I also don't want her to lose this good man. Sisters, what are your thoughts? Gail is shaking her head. So Gail, let me start with you.
You see, this kind of things, no matter when it happened, if you don't deal with it, it will always pop up. And it's got to do with the mind. I always talk about the mind. The mind has control over everything we do. Physically, everything. It starts with the mind, how you feel psychologically. And so anything that happens to you as a person, it stays here. You understand? So whatever it is that happened to her, I don't know whether she was raped. Is that what she's trying to say? Maybe. She didn't deal with it. I don't know how old she was. I don't know what she did about the situation when it happened. I cannot tell. But obviously, whatever it is, it's still, it's affected her so much that she cannot move past it, you know, unless she fixes it. And even though, like I said, we never heal completely from things, no matter what happens to us in life, we never heal from it, but we can get to a point where it doesn't affect some other aspects of our lives. So, and it's not everything that we can handle on our own. Sometimes you need to get help. It could be from somebody who is neutral, who doesn't benefit from what you're telling them. They won't judge you, they won't take sides or anything. And then there could also be the other angle where it's a professional. So it could be a psychologist or it could be a psychiatrist, depending on the severity of what she's dealing with. Because if you claim you love somebody, and love is always supposed to be a positive, nice thing. So obviously when you're around this person, maybe he makes you feel certain things, but you're the same person who is also, you know, afraid of if he gets close to you, you're going to react in a violent way. So instead of thinking that you need to be in a relationship to feel good about yourself, you need to think about yourself first. If you are not in a right frame of mind, if you are not mentally stable and all of that, you cannot give what you don't have. Obviously, she's dealing with a lot as a person. And being with somebody else who is also going to be expecting things from you is not the right thing for her at the moment. She needs to get help, at least to pour out, because sometimes when things happen to you and you don't deal with it, and dealing with it is about putting it somewhere instead of keeping it in your head. You have to find a place to put it. You have to find a place to put those emotions, how you express yourself about what happened to you. And she hasn't done that, obviously. So if they say all your relationships that you've had have always gone south just because of this thing, so then you shouldn't be in a relationship in the first place. Get help. Talk to a professional who has actually studied these things, and then they will help you at least come to terms with what happened. You understand? Get some kind of closure. If you have to talk to whoever did that to you. Because sometimes when you don't express those things, there's anger, you know, and all of that against whoever took advantage of you, you know. So she has to get help. Stay out of the relationship. You that you brought the story cannot really help her and advise her. You can say everything, but if she doesn't get the right help to come, should I say, make peace with it, and then maybe learn to love herself. It could be that she thinks being in a relationship is where she's going to get somebody to love her, but she has to love herself. Right. And I've always said that your happiness and your everything that comes to making you a whole person comes from you, and nobody can do that for you. Even if you're in a relationship, you still have to put yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first, and then be able to, you know, give back. So she has to get the help.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has to get help.
This is unfortunate. We are terribly sorry to her friend for what she's going through. Like my sister rightly said, she needs help. And in this particular case, from a professional, not just from anybody, from a professional. Here are two things that are going to happen if she doesn't get help. All her relationships are constantly going to be like this. And if she doesn't do that in the relationship, she's going to end up not even enjoying that process, and she's going to hurt herself in the process. So it's important that she gets help. She should take time out, pay for a professional to help her sort this out. She needs it. I don't know how long this has been, because it looks like it's not a recent thing. It's way long. But it's still something that can be sorted out. She should, whatever it takes, pay for a professional and get the needed help. And secondly, after that, she should internalize things and try as much as possible to see things from a different light. She should be very open about the help that she's going to get and work through it. I also think, depending on the relationship that she has with this person, if the love is strong, it's still something she can discuss with the person. I remember there was a singer, a Nigerian singer, whose wife got raped by a pastor. Yes. And the wife had already mentioned it to her husband. Timmy. Yeah. I think love conquers all things. And if she strongly feels this man is deeply in love with her, it's something she can first start off by getting the help and then discuss it with him. That's this and this, so that he knows what you are dealing with. It's easier when someone knows what you are dealing with, and then they can also come from a supportive angle to help you through what you are dealing with. It makes it easier. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rosie?
Yeah, just let me add quickly that I would also like to say sorry to her friend, what the friend is going through. Nobody should have to go through any form of abuse that will scar them this long. It's painful. And the fact that it's lasted this long, it means that the scar is really deep. And I'd agree with my sisters that it's not something that you as the friend can solve. But the good thing is that all the other people that she's been with, I don't think she's come to the point of telling you to advise her. So this is the first time she's probably seen somebody and she has come to you that, look, advise me. Then what it tells me is that she really loves this person and she's now open and willing to work on it, but she doesn't know the how. So that's why she's come to you. So what I would suggest is that you as the friend should use this opportunity to let her know that as much as you love her and wish to tell her the right things to make her feel good, you are not equipped to handle things like that. So the trust that she has in you to sort of like give her advice, can she trust you to recommend a professional to her? If she likes, you'd go with her through the process. As in, you go with her to see the professional, sometimes for the first few encounters, so that she can naturally feel safe because she has someone that she trusts around. And then subsequently, she can be on her own and then deal with it. And it will surprise you that during therapy, as she goes along, that moment is going to come where it would even be advisable for her to open up to that person that she claims that she's in love with. Because when you live with people with such scars and then you're not open about it, you open yourself to unnecessary arguments. He won't understand why when you touch her, sometimes you cringe initially before you decide to open up. They will interpret it differently. Or when he's touching you, he thinks you're normal, so he can just come from home, sneak behind you, want to give you a hug from behind, and then you're like, hey, you're triggered, yes. But when he knows some of these things, he's probably more intentional about how he chooses to get intimate with you. So I think that you as a friend sending the text message, this is she has set the stage for you to bring a professional into her life. And sometimes with people like this, the window period is very short. Now that she's open-minded about it, she's willing to talk about it, she wants to get advice about it. If you don't act quickly, she might shut down again. And it will take another time for that window to open again. So quickly get someone to take her through some form of counseling. If you don't have anybody on your list, I'm sure you can message Chris after the show, and Chris can recommend a good psychologist, psychiatrist, depending on the level at which she is to you, so that you can recommend that to her to sort the issue out. Yeah. That's what I think.
But do you think it's always necessary to confront the person who did whatever to her?
Not
in some
always.
cases, but not always. And for me, you see, true healing comes from yourself.
Yeah.
And it's the same way people go chasing closure and then you go and get pregnant whilst you are going to chase closure. You know, it's like, I want to know what happened. Why did you leave me? Why didn't you? Then you are chasing closure. Then either you go and get pregnant or your life is stalled forever. You see, sometimes people know what they are doing to you. They know what they are doing to you. They know the effect it's having on you. And the more you hold on to that, for me, the more you win. So for me, as I keep growing day in, day out, I've started developing that attitude of, see,
it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. Closure is not necessary.
And confrontation is not necessary.
I think it's a waste of time sometimes.
People, you know, in the past 2 years, people have offended me in several ways, and I've just looked at them and just distanced myself.
Yeah.
Because in the chasing of closure, the talking, I mean,
it's too much.
It's too much.
The energy.
And sometimes you reveal, look, there was this movie that I watched. The man is not, has issues like some of these disorders. He doesn't like being, you know, some of these disorders, like I don't know which particular one, but, and then his father treated him very badly when he was young. So bad. The autistic doctor was the...
Oh, the good doctor.
The good doctor,
yeah.
yes. The father treated him very badly when he was a child. He and his brother, blah, blah, blah. When his dad was dying, right, people advised him to go see his dad because his dad is dying. So upon constant, he now went to see his dad because he was dying, thinking that the dad
Something
will now
will
be
change.
Remorseful, something will change. The man now poured pepper.
Aggravated, yeah,
He
the
now put
situation.
pepper
Yeah.
into the whole thing.
People are who they are.
You know,
Yeah.
and it got him emotional all over again. So when you go and chase that kind of closure from the person who did it to you, sometimes if you're not lucky,
You'll be extra
he would
wounded.
actually upset you in the wrong way. But when, I'm sure some of these psychologists, what they will do is that they will teach you healing from yourself. They'll let you accept what happened, accept what went wrong, and try to let you know that it wasn't your fault. That
It's
this
never-
happened
yeah,
to
it's
you.
actually never the
And then
fault
they
of the
teach you
survivor.
how to actually heal from within. And if that one is successful, that is when you meet the guy who did it to you, and instead of feeling anger, you look at him and go like, you know what, I've forgiven you.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think that chasing ghosts now, I don't advise chasing ghosts in any, I just, no.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
No. I mean, sometimes even we try it, you go and chase giddy. What does it? No. So when you are silent and you deal with the thing yourself and the people see you as having dealt with it, that is the real win.
Well,
And it's unfortunate that if it was way younger, where her parents could have helped her to deal with this, nobody did anything about it. Or is it a situation where she didn't speak to her parents about it? Then we cannot fault her parents for that.
to actually contribute to what you just said, especially with the parents' part, there are a lot of situations that we've seen where people go through these things, and the parents know. Most of it, especially in our parts of the world, the mothers know.
They might either blame you for it.
Yeah, they
or
might either blame you
or try
for
and
it,
pull it out
or
of you.
just
or beat
try
it out
exactly,
of you
or
sometimes.
maybe let's keep it within the family.
Yeah,
It has
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not bring shame.
Yeah.
If people know about this, nobody will want to marry you in the future.
But honestly, we have
understand?
to normalize the whole going to see a psychologist
I
thing,
think people
because
don't accept that.
yeah,
Here,
we
like,
have to
yeah.
normalize it in our society, because it's very important.
Yeah.
You don't see how important it is until something eats into your soul to the point where you realize it's changed you entirely.
Because people actually believe that it happened, let go of it.
And then that's
As if
it.
you can just switch
Yeah.
off like a light.
Yeah.
switch
Yes,
on,
yes.
off.
So they don't know
No.
there are emotions
Yeah.
involved, and that
Yeah.
is why
see-
a lot of parents have made the mistake of saying, "Let's keep it within
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
You will get over it."
You see, sometimes that keep it in the family is coming from a very selfish standpoint.
Yes.
Half the time, maybe the man in question is somebody who's providing for the family.
Yeah,
The
could be
person is
some
the
uncle or
family
something.
head,
Yes.
is an uncle,
Yeah.
something.
And sometimes even the parents are just,
and you know
they
what?
don't,
And
they
They are
don't avoid
protecting
the
their
disgrace.
name.
and they
Yes.
want to, or maybe they want
Yeah.
to avoid the disgrace. So it's coming from a selfish point of view. And the thing is that we are in a society where when you stand for what is right, you are seen as a radical.
Like
Yeah.
you.
See, when you stand for what is right, you are seen as a radical. It's not about whether you can handle it or not.
Yeah,
It's
once you
about
speak
wrong
up
is
or you
wrong,
question
right is
things,
right.
yeah.
So when the thing is wrong, it's wrong. But the thing is that when you start talking about wrong, maybe the first people like will say, I thought you talking to one to what kakakre, yeah.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
bothersome because it is wrong. So when the person is complaining, like this thing is wrong, why are you doing this? So it's like over time, and listen, even in our courts, and maybe I don't know what's happening now, there was a time where when you take a rape case to the court, you the one who has been raped, you have to prove
Yeah.
beyond.
Yeah.
So even if you were raped, it means that as soon as you were raped, you have to carry
have to
yourself like
carry
that
yourself.
immediately
Yes. To the
to
hospital,
the
to-
hospital.
yeah, to get
Meanwhile,
something.
at that
Yes.
time, the
People don't
psychologist
think
Yes.
psychological
Yeah,
of getting raped,
traumatized.
you are traumatized. You just want to get the whole thing off you.
Yeah.
So let's say if you didn't know all of this and you decided to go and have a shower,
You clean
that's
everything
it
off.
means that everything is
No
gone
evidence.
and you don't have evidence. You'll be shamed. You'll be called names. The man would
Get
go
away with
scot
it,
free
yeah.
and do it to the next victim,
Yeah.
and then you will now be labeled as that rape victim who probably wasn't raped and was pretending to be raped.
Or
you
trying
can't
to
prove
accuse
it.
an
Or
innocent
trying to
man
innocent
because you're
man
a bad
because he's a bad
person.
person.
Yeah.
They'll
What was she
victim
wearing?
shame you.
What
They'll
does she
victim
usually
shame
wear?
you, yeah.
What hairstyle?
Why
The
did
way
you go
she
to
why did
his
she even
house?
go there?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just saying that look, we are in a system where admitting certain things is not attractive.
True.
And for your future sanity, you would want to keep it under wraps. And sometimes even the fact that, look, when your parent idolizes a certain man, oh, sir, uncle, wait there, hey, those times.
And he does that to
And
you.
he
This
does that to
pattern.
you. How are you going to tell your mother that this
Yeah.
person has done
They
this
might
to
not
me?
even believe you.
They might not believe
Yeah.
They might believe you, but you are even thinking that they might not believe you.
Yeah, so you can't speak
So you
up.
can't even
Yeah.
speak up. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that need to be changed. And the more we have examples, especially with people who are known in society, like celebrities,
Come out with
they come out with
yeah,
some of
so
these
it
things,
encourages
and then they
people.
are dealt
Yeah.
with, and society doesn't shame them. Then we know that as time goes on, people can actually speak up when things
Yeah.
like this happen to them.
No, but you see, let's give a clear example. Let's look at a case.
Timmy's case.
No, apart from even
No,
Timmy's case.
Yvonne,
Even no, okay. Timmy's case is one. Everybody still didn't believe the woman.
Yeah.
Because it's a man of God.
The
that nobody,
society-
nobody can talk against a man of God
Yeah.
because blah blah blah. That she was probably a sports girl. Then let's talk about P Diddy's case. P Diddy's case.
he lied and lied
nobody
until the
believed.
video
Nobody
came out.
believed
Yeah.
Cassie
Yeah.
until
Until the video came
the video
out.
came out.
Yeah.
Even still, with the
Yeah.
video out there,
Yeah.
people are still asking, "Are you sure it was her?" Like she just wanted to tarnish a great man's
Yeah.
name, you know.
That's
So it's
the
always
thing.
about. I think it's the patriarchal society that we live in. It's always about women trying to destroy a man
Yeah.
Yeah.
when they come out to discuss these things. You did this to me. You did that to me. But at the end of the day, we also forget that babies have been
Molested
Molested.
as well. So what's attractive about a baby
Yeah.
in a diaper?
babies.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
little girls
Yeah.
have been defiled. What were they wearing?
Exactly.
Some of them were in diapers.
Yes.
Ladies in hijab have been raped.
Yeah.
What were they wearing?
All covered up.
All covered up. You couldn't even see their. You don't even know the face behind the whole thingy.
So,
So,
it's
yeah.
wrong. I think we just have to promote a society where people are able to,
Comfortably talk about these things. Get help.
Without being
Be
judged.
open- without being
and
judged.
then get help.
Exactly.
And then I don't know, the psychologists now, I don't know whether they have groups and
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
there are actually groups.
but they don't have. I don't know whether there are places where you can just go in a
Yeah,
sense.
do we have centers like
Centers.
that?
Well, yeah, I think
but
they're-
normally they come. You have to go to see a doctor,
And
and
then
the
the
doctor
doctor
recommends
recommends.
a psychologist
yeah.
to you, or a psychiatrist to you. But I think we should get to that point where they are easily accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are
Yeah.
also some 2x4 psychologists, who are in town that, you speak to, and then your issues are roaming all over the place.
social media.
On social media
know,
and things
that's
like
the
that.
Thing,
So
that's the thing. So they actually have a code of conduct where they're not supposed to talk about this.
that
thing.
is the on
That's
paper.
why you need to go to a professional
So you have
and
to go to a
pay,
professional.
and
Yes,
then,
that's
you
what I'm
know,
saying. That
have
so
it
there are people
treated.
around. So
Yeah.
That's
in
why I was
as much
emphatic
as
on that. You
I
think
wish
you get it for free,
I wish
and so you go and be talking to anyone.
Yeah. So I wish that in Ghana especially, we could have a lot of, because when I was going to school in Legon, we had a counselor. My office, we have a
should be a common
psychologist.
thing. Even-
but the
even-
thing is that even though we have a psychologist,
Yeah.
people find it very difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
because it's like my same environment. I'm going to tell
Somebody will know
about my
about it,
issues.
yeah.
So it's like we are still a people who are shrouded like secrecy when it comes to matters of that. But we are just hoping that as time goes on, we
Yeah.
learn to open up more.
Well-
And seeing a psychologist or a psychiatrist doesn't necessarily mean you are mad.
Yes,
it
that's
just
true.
means you are mad about an issue.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean you are mad.
Yeah.
What bothers me a bit about our society is the things that are relevant and will make us grow or become better people. We don't normalize those things.
No.
We are busy normalizing the tattoos, the piercings, the this, the that, the that. And
Yeah.
these things that will rather make a person's life wholesome.
We are
From
focused-
inside out.
We
Yeah.
are focused more on the physical rather than what goes on here. And
Well-
which is
So
more
if we can
important.
do that, it will help
Yeah.
everyone.
Well, I think we're all on the same line
Page,
of thoughts
yeah.
right
Hey,
now.
that doesn't
so-
happen here very often. No. Hey.
Yes.
Certain topics bring that out of us.
Yes, yes. I think we're all on the same line
Page,
of
yeah.
thought and or the same page right now. So anyway, sisters, I want to say a very big thank you to each and every
Thank
one of
you.
you that came out today, and also the support that you've given this lady. So if you're watching, friend, if you're watching, I'm sure you heard everything that the sister said. Please, please, please let her try to get help. But anyway, let's take a quick break, and when I come back, I will be sharing
Share
my
your
final thoughts. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Sister right here on Channel 1 TV. And obviously, it's been a very, very, very great conversation. And I don't know, for the first time, we are all in line when it comes to the 2 letters that were sent to us. But then let me share my final thoughts before we wrap up the show. Now, young lady, 25 years old, that is head over heels with this man and finds out that he's married. I would say, what I would say to you is, unfeel whatever you feel for this man. You have the right to do that. And I know you're head over heels, but if you really believe in your values of not wanting to be with a married man, I don't see what stops you. Remember that we are 8 billion people right now in the world, so I don't think he's the only one that can make you feel the way you feel. I know it's a bit hard, especially for the fact that you've been single for a long time and feel that, oh, I have met the love of my life, only to realize that the love of your life is someone else, love of their life. And in this case, like the sister said, I don't really think you need to think so much about this. It's painful, but this is not the first breakup that you've ever had. It's painful, but this is not the first man that you've been with that didn't end right. So, hey, let it be just one of those things again. End the relationship. If it's something that you believe that does not work for you, end the relationship. I mean, besides, this relationship already started with lies. For somebody not to open up with you from the beginning just because he feels like at the end of the day that you wouldn't want to be with a married person, so he concealed everything only for you to find out from someone else. Imagine what you would have gone through in that marriage. So is it like when you get married, then he'll now tell you, oh, I'm sorry, you're the second wife? Imagine what would have happened. I mean, there are people that are, polygamous, and these polygamous people actually tell you from the beginning, you know what, I have a wife, but I would want to have a second wife. What do you think? It's either for you to say yes or no. But this one, you were not told at all. So what would have happened if you married? Imagine you were getting married and then someone just burst into the church and be like, this man is married. All that disgrace, you know, and all that shock and all that surprise would have been more than what you're feeling now. So let what you're feeling right now end. There's no shame in it. There's no shame starting all over again. Remember, there are 8 billion people in the world, okay? So please, 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 for your own sanity, I think you need to end this relationship. Now, for the second letter, thank you so much for sharing your friend's story, and our heart goes to your friend, especially for what she's feeling. Sexual abuse, dealing with sexual abuse is not very easy. Especially in this kind of society that we are in, and people actually forget that these things affect us emotionally, psychologically, and you know, physically sometimes, because it goes a long way. You might think it happened years ago, but somehow, if it's not dealt with, it's going to, you know, linger on forever. So a lot of people are watching, and I'm sure a lot of people have gone through something like that, and today, it might be affecting them in their relationships, in their marriages, and that is just because they have not worked on it. It's time for us to pay attention to this kind of issues. It's time for us to get healing. It's time for us to move from the culture of silence. It's time for us to speak about these things. If you see something, speak out. If you have gone through something, when you are ready to speak, speak out. And I'm glad that she is ready right now to receive healing, because I feel like talking about this issue with you is a first step toward healing. For the fact that she can talk about it with you is a first step toward healing. But you know what? You are not a psychologist. You are not a therapist. So it's time for you to tell her, it's time for you to go on therapy. It's time for you to see a psychologist. It's time for you to get help. You cannot cancel your friend. And the good thing you have done about it, which I would also recommend to a lot of people that know people going through this situation, is listen. Do not be judgmental about it. Listen. Listening is the only way you can try to help someone that have gone through some sort of sexual assault or sexual violence. Listening and not being judgmental about it. This can actually push them to get more help. So yes, you've done the right thing. Thank you for sending in your letters. Now, hold her hands and let her, you know, get help. Therapists, psychologists, or you know, there are people out there that can help with these issues. But please, I'm not saying go to your pastor. Oh, this is not a pastor's job. This is not something you can pray away. No, 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 no. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. But this is not something to pray away just like that. No. Please get professional help. And then I think if she's really in love with the man too, if he's an open-minded person, she can talk to him. Like Sicho said, you can open up to him, and it's up to him to say, okay, I want to help you. But if he decides not to help you, life doesn't end there. The main thing is for you to find healing and be at peace with yourself. And being at peace with yourself means that you love yourself. And you can only be loved right when you love yourself. And anyway, if you're feeling shy and don't know what to do about it, I think you can reach out to me on social media. Reach out to me in my inbox. My Instagram inbox is open. Please reach out to me if you want any sort of help. I'm organizing something like a group therapy very soon. So please, if you want that sort of help, reach out to me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for, you know, watching us on this episode of Sister Sister. It's been touching, and I hope that you have found some sort of help, or, you know, it has given you a direction of what to do, especially those who send in their letters. If you want to send in your letter, send in your letter via Sister Sister Live. Sister Sister is live@gmail.com, and we will get to read your letters. Thank you so much to Gino and Cindy Rice for holding us down. And remember, you, the viewers and listeners, are the real MVPs, because without you, who are we going to be talking to? Thank you so much. My name is Chris Carter, and this has been Sister Sister right here on Channel 1 TV and City 97.3 FM. See you next week.